Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hey guys, so I am currently editing the SHOPMISSA video and I noticed that there was a huge issue with the sound quality. I do apologize in advance for all of the gross little staticky bits, but I did fix it. As you can see, I'm in a little bit of a new setup. I kind of rotated some stuff, I switched out some stuff, and I'm playing with a new mic setup. So hopefully you guys can see the difference coming soon, and I'm sorry that this video kind of has a little bit of a rocky start, but if you can get past that, I promise it is worth watching. So I'm not sure if you've seen on my Instagram, but I'm currently in the middle of doing a 31 days of skincare challenge. The entire month of January, I will be posting about skincare, so my skin is feeling quite appreciated lately. So what is the best thing to do right now but to put cheap makeup on that I think might break me out? If you've seen the title or the thumbnail, today I actually picked up a whole bunch of makeup from SHOPMISSA, which is $1 makeup. I have all of the things here to do an entire full face of makeup, including lashes, brows, the works. So if you want to see me put dollar makeup to the test, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3 times a week, and that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. With the exception of one product, they're all from the AOA Studio House brand, which is, I think, the SHOPMISSA brand. I did not see any bronzers on there, so I did get the Santèe bronzer, but everything else is the AOA Studios. I did only get the makeup. I picked up one brush for highlighting just because I didn't want to be super wasteful and get a bunch of stuff that I'm never going to use again. I'm hoping the makeup works out, but this is the only brush shape that I really don't believe I had, so I did want to try that out. So jumping in, I'm going to start with the AOA Studio Wonder Skin Mattifying Primer, and I am going to be taking that with my fingers because that's what I normally do. So right off the bat, it has a thinner consistency than I'm used to for a primer, but it is a little on the tacky side. Priming the skin is important. Okay, so the next two products are probably the scariest two, and it is foundation and concealer. I picked up the AOA Studios Perfect BB Cream. The reason I'm scared is because this is in the shade Light, and it's always hard to figure out your shade online. So I'm going to take a little bit, actually, I'm going to go right onto my beauty blender for this one. I think the shade is going to work. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out. I think we can make that work. It is definitely a little light, but I think if I spread that on the whole face, it will be okay. So right off the bat, I'm not mad at the coverage, but you will see there's definitely a sheen to the skin. This did not say that it was going to be matte. No, gives the face luminous glow. I ordered a glowy foundation. Okay, it's a good thing I have a whole lot of powders on hand because we know how I feel about luminous and glowy, but I guess we don't really have a choice now. For concealer, this is the Wonder Cover Concealer. I have the shade Classic Ivory, which was one of the lighter shades. That's definitely very pink, which for me is okay. I do know that I am very cool toned and not everybody is as cool as I am. This does smell a little like paint thinner, so not sure how I feel about that, but hopefully the coverage makes up for it. Now for my skin tone, I'm not minding the color of that. It is definitely very pink. For anybody with warm or neutral undertones, this is going to be more of like a peachy pinky color corrector for you. But for my skin tone, it is actually a really nice shade. Now, before I set this down, I did not notice any contour shades that were powder. So I did pick up a cream contour today. This is the AOA Studio Sculpt Fix Contour Stick in the shade Nude. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this anywhere I would normally contour. And on my same sponge, I'm going to blend that out. That actually blended away really easily. I think I like that. Normally, I'm not a fan of cream contours because I find they really tend to get muddy or overwhelming, or for me, the tones are just way too warm. But this is giving shape and definition to the skin without it getting, like, gross or gray. Okay, so to set down the face, I'm going to take the AOA Studio Setting Powder. This is the Matte Translucent Powder. It is definitely a white powder. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to use this, but since it turned out to be a BB cream that was luminous instead of a foundation, I am going to take the Perfect Finishing Pressed Powder in shade Beige. And I'm going to, ooh, okay, so I immediately got a lot of kick up in that. So it is a very soft powder, so be careful. I'm just going to take that to set down the rest of the face, just because I don't want to be luminous and glowy. I want to be matte. I'm really liking the base. I mean, everything looks as good as it normally does. Like, I am going to say that it is kind of sitting on top of the skin. It hasn't really sunk into the skin the way most of my other products have, but we're going to throw some setting spray on it. Setting spray. That's what I didn't get. Okay, so the only product I do not have today is a setting spray. So I'm going to grab my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist and just set down some of those powders. So far, nothing is standing out as absolutely horrible. I mean, obviously, I won't really know about the mattifying foundation until I see how it wears. But so far, so good. I am going to jump into a little bit of bronzer now. Like I said, this is the only product that was not the AOA Studios brand. This one is from Santèe. I'm going to take my actual bronzer brush and add a little bit of warmth to the skin. So I know I ordered the lighter of the two shades, but this is kind of reading a little bit warmer than I typically like. I don't dislike how it looks, like it's translating nice on camera, but in general, I think that I do like to go in with a little bit more of a cool tone bronzer. It also does have a little bit of like a sheen to the skin, which I just took all that powder to make the sheen go away, and now I'm putting it back in, but that's okay, I guess. For blush, this is the AOA Studio Perfect Blush in the shade Wispy. And I know you guys will notice I'm using the same tools I always use, because I do want to give these the best chance of succeeding. That's a really pretty matte blush. I think I really like the blush. Like, it's definitely pigmented. It's definitely showing up. I don't feel like I have to really overly build it up to get color payoff, but it's giving a nice warm rosiness to the cheeks, and this is definitely like the type of shade I typically go for. So I do really like that. So you know highlighter is kind of where I decide to either make or break a situation. So this is the AOA Studio Velour Highlighter in the shade Lucky. I haven't even swatched this yet. I'm gonna, oh, that feels, oh my god, well, it's blinding to start, but that definitely feels like a mousse as opposed to a powder. So now I'm scared that the velour eyeshadows I got are also going to be a little more moussey. So instead of taking that on my brush, I'm going to grab my beauty blender and take just a little bit. Holy moly. Now we are really glowing. Okay. I'm going to take my finger just to spotlight that a little bit more. And now that did get a little bit more glowy than I anticipated, so I'm going to take a touch more of the powder and just kind of set the cheek one more time, just to kind of frame where that shine is going to be, because that is really blinding. So I was definitely expecting this to be more of a powder, but all things considered, for a like moussey textured highlighter, this is really pretty. I cannot wait to see how that looks on the inner corner. So they did have a bunch of brow products, and all I picked up was the Go Brow Fiber Gel, because you know the brow that I typically do is just my Milk Makeup Cush Brow, and that's it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and comb this through the brow. Well, that's an intense color. I'm going to take my spoolie and just kind of comb that out a little bit, try and soften it. This is in the shade Medium Brown, and this is definitely a lot darker than I normally go in with, so not sure if I would say this is actually a medium brown or what, but that's definitely a little darker than I typically do. All right, we are on to eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, I did get the AOA Studio XL Long Lasting Shadow Stick. This is in the shade Matte Mellow. I got this because it does look a lot like a painterly paint pot type shade, and I got this pretty much just to use as a shadow base. So for a shadow stick, it definitely has a lot of tug to it. It's not nearly as like creamy as I normally would like. So not immediately my favorite. And it's not blending out. All right, let's try that with a sponge. That still is exactly where I put it and nowhere else. So in order to blend this out, I have to like press pretty hard and drag. So this is a little bit abusive to my eyelids and not something I think I am ever going to want to reach for again. So I did pick up 2 of the Velour eyeshadows. I'm going to touch it and make sure it's powder. Hopefully it's powder. Nope, it's a mousse. Crap. Okay, so I have 2 moussey eyeshadows to use, and I do not like using cream shadows, as you know. So this is the shade Deeper, which is a matte brown, and this is the shade Holiday, which I'm going to say is, let's try and open it. I'm going to say it's probably the same formula as the highlighter. No, this is actually a little bit drier than the, it's a little bit drier than the highlighter, but it is definitely pretty. That might have redeemed this. So I'm going to take a brush, and I'm going to take a pretty dense brush, and I'm going to go into that deep brown shade, and I'm just going to start building this up and blending it out. I know I don't love creams, but hopefully we can make this work. So now that the base color is down, I'm going to go into the bronzer shade, and I'm just going to kind of set that cream shadow and blend it out a bit. Okay, so I tried to save that with the bronzer, which is a very red toned shimmer, so I'm not sure if that's actually going to do what I want it to, but at this point the options are pretty much just that. So I'm going to take a touch more of the pressed powder and just set down towards the brow bone and try and make this look blended and diffused for a cream. And I'm going to run a little more of that bronzer on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take Holiday, the shimmer shade, and I'm going to use my finger and press that into the lid. So I'm going to say I think that that came back very nicely. I am definitely a fan of how the shimmer shade is performing. I do wish I was using some mattes to really get it to stand there, but unfortunately I don't have any. I am going to take a small little detail brush and the moussey highlighter we used on the face and just highlight the inner corner. That is absolutely stunning. Like, I'm getting major Flexitarian vibes from that. So as you know, Brandon really likes to make fun of me that when I don't love an eye look, I just pop on massive lashes. And luckily for me, I did order the Chloe lashes from AOA, which are pretty big. So I'm going to throw on a quick coat of the Fat Lash Mascara, also from AOA Studios, throw on my lashes, and I'll be right back. So I did not put on the falsies yet because I did just want to pop back in and give you an update on the mascara. It is a little clumpy. It's not really doing as much as I would like. However, for a mascara underneath falsies, I think it's a really good one. But if you're looking for length and curl and lift, this may not be for you. All right, I'm going to go pop on those lashes and I'll be right back. Beautiful. So last product of the day is going to be lips, and I did get 2 options. I wasn't sure how the eyes were going to turn out or if the lashes were going to be super dramatic, so I didn't know if I wanted a nude or a little bit more of a statement lip. These are both from AOA Studios, and they are the Wander Lip Lock 24-Hour Lipsticks. I got them in the shade Soufflé, which is a pretty standard for Brett, boring peachy nude, but it is very pretty. And the other shade I got is in the shade London, and it is a little bit more of what I'm going to call a statement lip in a purple. Kind of feeling the purple. I'm going to try the purple. If I don't like it, we'll put on the nude. How about that? So that is really pretty. I think that they definitely have a weird scent to them. I'm trying to figure out what they are. It's almost like a berry scent. They are very waxy on the lips. Not sure how they're going to wear. I'm going to have to test that out. But I will say that I did have a little bit of an issue getting a clean line with them. With most lipsticks, especially brand new ones, when you get in really close with that edge, there's no issue getting a nice clean line. With this, I'm definitely having a little bit of like that like feathery bleed that you'd sometimes get. So definitely something you'll want to pair with a liner. Now that it's been on for a couple more minutes, the lip is a little bit sticky. Not sure if it's supposed to be, but for a cream lipstick, I never really think it should be sticky. So a lot of the products were okay. Some of them are things that I will probably reach for to try and use again and test out a little bit. The standout products for me as far as things that I really do like. First off, the Studio Finishing Pressed Powder. It's very soft and very like micro smooth. It reminds me a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury powder, and for only $1 I will continue to play with it. It does have talc in it, so I am going to have to test this around to see if it has flashback, because the last thing we want is flashback if we're at an event. The cream shadows are already starting to crease on me, which is why I typically don't go for cream shadows. However, the cream highlighter on the cheeks, I am really enjoying. So they feel like they are a very similar texture, so I'm going to play around with this one on the cheek as well, because a moussey highlighter is never a bad idea. I'm starting to like the brow product. I mean, it's a little darker than I normally go for and a little bit bolder, but I think I'm enjoying it. As far as the things that are an immediate fail for me, I'm going to say the bronzer is a no-go. I'm going to definitely say that the eyeshadow stick that I used as a base is so waxy, it doesn't blend. Like, even if I put a little bit on my hand fresh and I try to blend it out, like, I'm having issues moving it around. It just does not work. So quick update, it has been like 20 minutes since I stopped filming, and this eye is feeling very irritated. So I'm not sure if it's the bronzer that I took on the lower lash line or the concealer, but something is causing this eye to get really itchy and really inflamed, so I am going to wash this off now. I will let you guys know down below which product it was after I get a chance to play with these a little bit more individually, but something is going to cause a reaction. And I am going to try out the brush. I'm going to grab my Ivory highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills, because I can't really use this with a cream highlighter, and I did think I had a powder. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on this brush, load it up, and see how well it applies. Okay, so the brush is definitely a hit. So I know I only got one, but it is very soft. It is giving me, like, no irritation, no scratchiness. It's working well with the product. It's sitting nicely on the skin. So I would definitely give some more of their brushes a chance, but like I said in the beginning, I didn't want to jump into a whole bunch of new brushes and waste time, money, efforts on brushes. Like, I'm trying to be a little more mindful in my reviews. I'm going to be trying out products, and I'm really happy that I spent $19 to try out all this stuff today, but I wasn't about to go and get, like, extra brushes and stuff because I have so many brushes, and there's no way dollar brushes are going to replace some of my favorites. So, yeah. But that is the finished video. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below what some of your favorite products were or what you have tried from them, because now that I've opened up to this idea of dollar makeup, and I did find a couple, like, really awesome products, I'm really excited to maybe see what else they have. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.